Okay, so our last follower question was, what does a normal, healthy day in recovery look like for you? And I just reiterated that it's really like every other parent, every other mom. Like, I don't have a different life. Besides, I work with people that need help with recovery. So that's like the only difference, my day versus, you know, a mom that isn't in recovery. I was talking about how I'm very lucky that the people that have custody of, the person that has custody of my child always includes me in everything. Like, we share her 3 ways. She lives full time with her aunt. And I'm just very lucky that I get to be included in everything, because that doesn't always happen when you're coming back from active addiction. But I think it's because I'm so far along. Like, I really felt in the beginning, like when we were in family court and stuff, like I was being treated, and I know it wasn't them, I know it was their lawyer. Like, their lawyer fucking had it out for me, bro. Like, he wanted to drag me through the mud so bad. And we were just talking about this at her basketball game. Like, she kept telling him, like, no, like, I don't want to do that to her. I just want to, you know, keep her. I just want to keep Emily. So, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh yeah. So since court's been done and everything's over, we've all been doing amazing. I'm just really lucky. So I'm gonna look at the next follower question. Okay, this is a good one. How has motherhood impacted your recovery? Well, you either sink or swim. You either sink or swim. Being a mom has given me the structure that I needed to come back from where I was, but you cannot live your life like you're this fragile thing. And like, I know when I didn't have my kids, I had the capability of making my recovery my whole, like, every excuse in the book for why I wasn't doing the things I was supposed to be doing, I would blame it on my recovery. Like, oh, I'm just tired, I'm in recovery. Like, I can't do that anymore. And that's fine when you're in early recovery, but when you have people that rely on you, like kids that rely on you to be their parent, you can't make excuses like that. You literally just can't. You just got to do what you got to do. So motherhood has really, like, propelled me into the next, you know, phase or stage of my journey where, like I said, you either sink or swim. You either manage to do it on your own while dealing with your, like, I was in active addiction for 20 years. So coming back from that is not going to be easy, but coming back from that and becoming a single parent again overnight was fucking hard. And I was always so, like, hard on myself, because I have a hard time in the mornings. Like, I have a really hard time being up at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning to drive my kids to school. Like, I'll always struggle with that. And that's why I've been so lucky that my daughter's school they just get it, you know? They're great. They're fucking amazing. And that's the school I went to. So they all know me. Like, I grew up in that little town. I went to that high school. So they all know me. They all know my parents. They know my story. So they've made it really easy on me. But when you don't have that kind of relationship with your kid's school, and like, I've got ADD that ADHD, I'm neurodivergent. I was just diagnosed with it. So a lot of the times, like, I'm missing appointments and I'm not, like, organized the way I should be. And they just get it. They just understand. They're like, you know, she's alive and she's doing it. That's all that fucking matters. And I'm just really fortunate that they understand that. So if my kid's an hour late for school, or half an hour late for school, they're not making a big deal out of it. You know, they understand that it's a good day if I got her there. Like, they get it. They know. They understand. So that's been good. But yeah, like, being a parent in recovery, it's hard, but it also, like, you either do it or you don't do it. There's no in between. Like, you either sink or you swim. I love that because it's true. You either are going to make it or you're not. And bitch, I was going to make it. And now I've had my kids back for almost 3 years. And yeah, it's been amazing. Like, I'm so fucking lucky. Everything has been the way it has been. Okay, this is a good one. Do you feel like you're in recovery even though you've been in recovery for 4 years? Like, do you still feel like you need to work on it? Fuck yeah, bruh. I'll always have to work on my recovery. And I've said this a million times. Hold on, I just want to light my smoke. The minute you get cocky about your addiction is the minute that monkey is going to pounce. So the minute you start thinking like, oh, I'm recovered, I don't need to work on my shit anymore. That's the moment that your monkey's like, oh yeah, bitch? Oh yeah, you want to be fucking cocky? You want to think you got everything under control? Boom. And there's the moment. There's your recovery test, you know? So yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. I'll always be in recovery. I think people, like, because of where I came from in my active addiction, because of how bad it was, I think because I spent 20 years in active addiction, I have to put every ounce of my being into my recovery for just as long. So maybe, 15 years from now, I'll be able to be like, okay, maybe recovery doesn't have to be my whole personality anymore. But I'm going to put every ounce of my being, every ounce of all of the work that I've done has to continue for as long as my addiction continued. Or, I don't know, I just feel like, bitch, you're being cocky. You don't have it all figured out. You haven't passed all the recovery tests. Like, every day there's a test, Like, I know one day my grandma's gonna pass away. She's 85, 87 maybe. And I know one day she's gonna pass away, and that's gonna be a recovery test for me, Like last year, 2 years ago, it'll be 2 years. It'll be 2 years in November. My friend passed away, my dear friend. I have a lot of guilt because I had to cut them out of my life because my recovery had to come first. And then they passed away. That was a recovery test for me. Do you know how bad I wanted to go pick up my drug of choice? Especially when I was like hanging out with people around the time that he passed away that aren't in recovery. Like, that was a huge recovery test for me. So every day and every incident that happens in your life is going to be a recovery test for you. So you absolutely are 110% still in recovery. Like, unless you're old and gray and, like, maybe then, but no, I spent 20 years in active addiction, so I'll always be in recovery, bitch. Always, 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 always. Always. That is who I am. Period. So I've answered this already, but I don't really care. I'm going to answer it again. What was your rock bottom? Well, I'd hit every rock bottom that a person can hit in active addiction. Like I say, I hit every rock bottom and kept digging. I like that because it's true. I thought losing my kids was going to be the hardest bottom to hit. It wasn't. You think getting back into the industry of sex work would be a rock bottom for me. It wasn't. I just kept digging. I lost everything that made me who I was. I lost my ability to be a parent. I lost my ability to be a daughter, a granddaughter, a niece, a cousin, a friend. I had no ability to do anything other than chase my drugs of choice. And none of that made me wake the fuck up. And it wasn't until I got charged that the thought in my head actually went, okay, maybe we should do this. Maybe we should try. Because I'd never tried before. I tried to hide it better, and I say this all the time, but I didn't try to get better. That's for damn sure. So definitely getting charged with 9 counts of human trafficking, trafficking of crack, and trafficking of fentanyl was the rock bottom that kind of changed the course of my life. And I think that happens for a lot of people. There's always that one moment that you either, sink or swim. Exactly. And I made sure that I was going to swim, bitch. And I swam for my whole fucking life. And here I am. So yeah, my charges. Running out of time. See you soon.